Viviane Araujo versus Natalia Silva. And this fight right here, it's going to be a potential coming out party for Silva. I think that Vivi is actually trying to defend her rank here, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's still ranked in the UFC. Um, Vivi is 12-5. She is 2-3 in her last five. She's actually coming off of a decision victory over Jennifer Maia about 2 months ago. She's 37 years old, so that bears a lot of weight in this fight, especially in my opinion. Natalia Silva, she's 16-5-1, 5-0 in her last five. She's actually 4-0 in the UFC, so it's been undefeated so far. She's coming off a decision victory over Andrea Lee. And the odds right now, so Vivi, Natalia is actually minus 340, and she opened up at minus 275. So some dog action has not been taking too much. I think people are actually just going the other direction so far for Silva. I think Vivi is a decent fighter. She has all round skill set there. I think that her striking is UFC level for the division. She has some pretty good strikes. Okay, power just mainly relies on her quickness and quick hands, able to attack with leg kicks as well. She's able to counter well as well. And she does get hit though. That's the one thing that I don't like about her style. I mean, she tends to get into a lot of brawls, and that's kind of unfortunate because I think that she is somewhat technical as a fighter. So she relies on her toughness and her chin, her grappling. I mean, 76% takedown defense is solid, decent takedown accuracy as well, 46%. She lands about 1.83 takedowns per fight, and she has the ability to unleash ground and pound on top. Vivi's one negative aspect, and it's getting worse, especially as she ages, is her cardio. I think, especially now that she's 37, turning 38, if you saw that fight against Amanda Ribas, she kind of gassed out in that fight. And in her last fight, although it was a win, I mean, it was a fighting against a similar age fighter in Jennifer Maia. So she's fighting up against another prime kind of fighter, I guess Natalia Silva. And Natalia has taken the UFC by storm. I mean, she's 4-0 in her last like four UFC bouts, just undefeated. Her striking, I think the movement and footwork is pretty high level in the cage. Powerful shots, KO capabilities, even later in fights. She's able to attack all three levels with the head, the body, and the legs. Her grappling is actually pretty underrated too, in my opinion. I think that she's actually well versed in takedowns, likes to go for the trips and throws as opposed to shooting for takedowns. She has a 92% takedown defense. That's something that's really impressive because she actually fought Jasudavicius, and she stuffed all six of Jasmine's takedowns and actually took Jasmine down twice. So Jasmine's a high level wrestler from Canada, and she just out wrestled her, out grappled her in that fight too, and just piecing her up on the feet. I think that Silva has good top control and transitions well in grappling situations. For me, this is pretty cut and dry. I think that Silva will just outstrike and outgrapple Vivi for all three rounds. I like Silva by decision. I think she's a parlay piece. Over 2.5 could be a potential play as well, but I'd rather just ride Silva in this case. What do you think about this fight between Silva and Vivi here?
Yeah, so this is going to be high level women's MMA. So I actually have a bet on this one. So Viviane Araujo, she might have a submission threat possibly, but Natalia Silva, like you said, she's pretty well versed. I've seen in her past fights before UFC, she had a lot of arm bars, arm locks type of submissions herself. So yeah, she's pretty well rounded there as well. And Vivian Araujo, she is older and she does struggle against technical striking. And this might be a maybe the worst matchup for Vivian. And Natalia, she has smooth technical striking and she looks good all around. And she from what I've seen, she hardly ever looks like she's losing.
Hmm.
So yeah, for me, Natalia Silva, the hype is most likely real and she's a parlay piece for me.
Perfect, perfect. Well, yeah, let's stuff her some parlays this week. I think
Yeah,
I feel great about that too. Uh,
nothing like Mike Malott.
and I don't want to. I don't want to think about that guy anymore. Well, Scott. Um, yeah, I mean it's great because I mean Vivi, I mean Natalia, she has proven to actually win decisions so far, right, in the UFC. So I think we can bank on her gas tank at least, unlike Mikey.